Today we're talking about curb appeal on our Dear Claire. So I thought there was no better place than to just take it outside and show you what I'm talking about, right? So let me figure out if I can flip this thing. Here we go. Okay, so we're standing out in front of my mom's house. And as you can probably see just looking at the street, there's no sidewalks. There's no curbs, literally. So you can see how it just kind of looks a little bit unfinished. So what do we mean when we mean curb appeal? That is literally what we're talking about, right? So you're looking at the street and the approach as you come up to a house, whether you're a buyer, with a small budget or a big budget, you really care what the house looks like when you drive up to it. So I actually challenge some of my sellers to take pictures of their property, especially when you're thinking about listing it, because why wouldn't you look at it in a picture and see what it looks like? Because you become immune to what your house looks like in front, and sometimes you're like, oh wow, I totally didn't realize that the rose bush has totally taken over the entire yard, or you know, my grass has a lot of clover in it, or any of those things. So you're gonna wanna look for details that need to be taken care of and that are easy to remedy. Clearly, the street I just showed you, you can't do that. That's obviously something that's not gonna be fixed tomorrow. But can you trim the rose bush? Of course you can. Of course you could paint your door some really hip color, or clean the moss off your roof, or any of those small things that'll really make a difference in the way your house looks when you're driving up to it. And if for nobody else, just yourself, you can walk up and feel pleasure in what your house looks from the front. So that's what curb appeal is. Of course, because you've watched all those HGTV shows, it is worth money to you if you're selling your property to care what it looks like from the exterior, because it's the first impression, like anything else. It makes a big difference to buyers. But of course, it's always something that ebbs and flows. So if you're selling your house, you're going to pay attention to it. If you've owned it for 20 years, it might be a time to just take a fresh look and see if there's anything you want to change. As always, please feel free to reach out and comment below. Any other questions you want me to take on? I love kind of talking about this stuff and getting out of the office and looking at things on the street. So we'll see you next time. Take care.